There are a lot of mysteries still to solve in the world of Thedas, but I got to say in my last playthrough, the mystery that intrigued me the most was what the heck was going on with Red Lyrium, and how it has such an effect on the Dragon Age series as we know it. Hi, it's Rima from Odyssey Gaming, and today I'll be looking at the weird element of Red Lyrium and its effect on the world of Thedas, and some possible theories about how it came to be. Lyrium is probably the most sought after resource in the world of Thedas, purely because of its magic enhancing properties. Used by both mages and Templars, Lyrium is also found in both the Fade and the waking world, and therefore leading people to believe it may act as a bridge between these two worlds. Consuming refined Lyrium allows mages to enhance their connection to the Fade, allowing them to boost their abilities, and allows Templars to sustain their magic negating abilities. Lyrium is extremely dangerous in its raw state and is primarily mined by dwarves as they have a natural resistance to the mineral. However, it's still highly dangerous to those dwarves who do mine it. Prolonged consumption of Lyrium can also cause addiction, as seen in Templars who go through Lyrium withdrawal after they stop taking it. Lyrium also has a significance in the Chantry teachings. The Chantry, the primary religion in Thedas, believes that Lyrium comes from the emerald waters of the Fade, the matter that the Maker used to create literally everything. Some also believe that the song that Lyrium emanates is possibly the Maker himself. However, the truth of the fact is Lyrium is actually the blood of Titans. Titans are massive creatures that live underground and are big enough to shape the world. Thought to be even older than the first Blight, it is unclear how old the Titans actually are, and, funnily enough, they also emanate a song. A more potent, deadly form of Lyrium, Red Lyrium can cause confusion, paranoia, hallucinations, and madness, and it doesn't need to be ingested to take effect. It also doesn't seem to discriminate who it affects, even having an effect on Seekers and Dwarves who are thought to be more resistant to Lyrium. Effects vary from person to person, with some showing more resilience to the adverse effects than others. Eventually, prolonged Red Lyrium ingestion will lead to the person being converted into Red Lyrium themselves. Red Lyrium is also warm to the touch, showing it generates some form of energy. Some scholars in Thedas have suggested that Lyrium itself is alive, however now it has credence since Bianca Davri learnt that Red Lyrium is infected with the Blight, which suggests it is alive as the Blight is only known to affect and taint living things. Typically only found in the deep roads, after the breach, Red Lyrium started to form on the surface rapidly, almost infecting the landscape and taking deep root into the ground. Red Lyrium is also thought to have, quote, anti-magic abilities, making it act the opposite to the magic-enhancing, transforming abilities of regular Lyrium. This anti-magic effect seems to have been contributing to its ability to thin the veil, dividing the waking world and the Fade, allowing for spirits and demons to much more easily enter the waking world. This also might be a reason for reported hauntings where Red Lyrium has poltergeist activities, as seen in the case of Bartrand's home. So probably the biggest mystery about Red Lyrium is how and why it even exists. We know that regular Lyrium is the blood from the Great Titans that live below Thedas. This Lyrium is what dwarves mine, and then subsequently sell on to the Chantry to use for mages and Templars. The song that Lyrium emanates, the one thought to be the sound of the Maker, is most likely the song of the Titans. The question is, how does this Lyrium turn into Red Lyrium? The simplest idea would be that the Darkspawn found regular Lyrium and corrupted it somehow. However, as seen in the Primeval Thaig, where the Red Lyrium idol was discovered in Dragon Age 2, it's discovered that Red Lyrium predates even the first Blight, which was the first ever recorded instance of the Darkspawn. So were the Darkspawn just lurking underground for a really long time before the Blight, or did something else taint the Lyrium? Other than the existence of the taint in Red Lyrium, there's also the song that those infected with it hear, something much darker than the call of Lyrium. As Cole states, quote, "The song behind the door, old whispers want it open." There are a lot of references to songs in the Dragon Age series. We've already covered the Titan song and how that's linked to Lyrium, but let's not forget the calling. The nightmares, eerie music and whispers the wardens hear that tell them that their time is nearly up. As explained, this call is thought to be the same one that drives the Darkspawn to seek out an old god that eventually will unleash a Blight. It's fairly obvious that the Song of Red Lyrium and the Calling and the Darkspawn call may actually be one and the same, another tie between Red Lyrium and the Blight. The Blight is thought to have been caused by Tevinter Magisters trying to enter the Golden City and were shunned by the Maker, making them into twisted monsters who ended up being the first Darkspawn. However, this is what was taught by the Southern Chantry, which doesn't make it entirely true or unbiased. There are a lot of theories out there about how the Darkspawn may have actually come into effect, but I think Red Lyrium probably holds the key. In Elven lore, there are two pantheons of God, the Evenures who created the world and the Forgotten Ones. The Forgotten Ones act as a mirror image to the Evenures and were thought to spread disease, death, fear, and evil. The Forgotten Ones were thought to be imprisoned in the Abyss or the Void, as some call it, by Fen'Haral when he betrayed both the Evenures and the Forgotten Ones, and subsequently created the Veil. Many have theorized that the Forgotten Ones and the Old Gods are one and the same, considering their similar nature. When we return to the Fade in Dragon Age Inquisition, we can find a note etched into Red Lyrium that states, quote, "We are here. We have waited. We have slept. We are sundered. We are crippled. We are polluted. We endure. We wait. We have found the dreams again. We will awaken." Now, this note definitely suggests a lingering, ominous, and somewhat threatening warning to someone or something that may suggest that something is returning, and many believe it's likely to be the Forgotten Ones. It stands to reason that the Forgotten Ones would have a reason to spread corruption and death in the waking world. They have likely spent an eternity plotting and devising a way to get their revenge for the betrayal they felt. Quote, "The song behind the door old whispers want opened" may also be a reference to the whispering, corrupting voices of the Forgotten Ones that seem to inflict so many. Corypheus himself, a Darkspawn, ended up as such supposedly when he entered the Fade after being convinced by Dumat, supposedly one of the old gods, when he started whispering to Corypheus in his dreams. Corypheus then kicked off the events of Dragon Age Inquisition when he was given the orb indirectly by Fen'Haral himself to bring down the Veil. So let's summarise. Tainted Red Lyrium predates the First Blight and may even predate Darkspawn themselves. Red Lyrium shares a similar, quote, "song" to the Blight and the calling that wardens here. And the Blight could have been created by the Forgotten Ones, a mysterious, dangerous pantheon of elven gods that were thought to have been imprisoned by Fen'Haral. And this, quote, "door that the old whispers may want open" may be the door between the waking world and the Fade, the Veil. The Veil separates the two worlds, preventing demons and spirits from invading the waking world, and likely keeps the Forgotten Ones at bay. We've already established that Red Lyrium has anti-magic property and weakens the Veil. Though we may see Red Lyrium as a side effect of Darkspawn corruption, it might be that Red Lyrium is actually a weapon in a sense. It predates the Blight, and it also may be the cause of Darkspawn infestations. Due to its similarity to Lyrium, mortals have mistakenly believed it to be safe and very powerful, but in fact it is deadly and destructive, as shown in the events of the game. It also almost acts like a Blight itself, and has magic dampening abilities, somehow greatly affecting the Veil itself. Look how easily it took a hold after the Deep Road expedition in Dragon Age 2, just with a tiny little idol. And the Forgotten Ones may not be the only suspects. Fen'Haral does want to strike down the Veil and is willing to do a lot of damage to do so. Could he be the mastermind behind everything going on? He did basically place the orb in Corypheus' hands. And then there are the Titans. Their blood is literally lyrium, and they seem to also predate the Evenures and the Blight. Some legends suggest that the Titans once tried to reshape and tame the world, only to have their kin killed by Mythal, one of the Evenures. The elves then mined their bodies for lyrium and gave the land to the elves, trapping the Titans forever in fear of their vengeance. And maybe the Titans are vengeful and want to maybe destroy the surface world. Maybe we'll learn more about Red Lyrium in the next installment, and maybe we won't. But I would definitely be interested to know what you guys think about this weird substance, so start discussing in the comments below, and with it I want to make a second part of this video, where we can maybe come up with a collective theory to what the hell Red Lyrium actually is. And with that, leave your comments below, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and please share this video to help the channel grow. Much thanks for watching this video, because it was a little different, and I will see you next time.